Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. As you know, I'm coming to you raw and uncut. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Please subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. I need subscriptions. But anyway, I need subscribers. Okay, Raw tonight. I'm not gonna rant or rave about it. I mean, the product is what it is. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I've been doing it now for about 8 or 9 months. And I'm hoping to get better and better and stuff. But anyway, Raw tonight. Okay, just gonna do it. Promo by promo and match by match. And we have the first promo, Jey Uso, coming out and everything. And, he's saying that, he has a lot of problems, a lot of people actually in his ear. He's got Jimmy in his ear, he got Roman in his ear, he has everybody in his ear, and stuff. But one thing he said that he's gonna do, and he's gonna accomplish on Saturday Night Main Event is that he's gonna defeat CM Punk, for that title and everything. And then as he was saying, his little 4 letters, 1 words, yeah, yeah, yeet, CM Punk comes out. CM Punk is, I guess telling him that he respects him and everything like that and stuff. But then he asks Jay, how far, is he willing to go? He says, as I got, CM Punk is telling him, when he's get beat down and everything, Jay can't, yell for the yeet or, go at yeet or whatever the case may be. He said, how far is he willing to go? CM Punk is saying that he knew how far he's willing to go, but he's asking Jay how far he's willing to go. And then Jay, comes back and he said, let's go, Punk, let's go, and everything. And then he says his words, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. And then he walks out. And that's how opening promo for Raw. Woohoo! Boy, did they blow that one. I mean, it was meaningless. I mean, it was nothing. I can't understand it. You know. Then we got Dom telling that the Judgment Day, that they have problems. The Judgment Day say, hey, look, the only problem that we have is that they lost their tag team title belts and that they're trying to figure out a way to get it. And then Dom is saying, well, what they're going to do about the problem. Then they say they're not going to do anything about the problem because Dom, again, he's scared the fact that he may end up having to fight Rusev, or Penta and everything. So, they kind of left it off, like that and everything. And then Raquel was telling Roxanne, don't worry about it because she wanted to go talk to Dom. But Raquel told Roxanne not to worry about it because the fact that she had a match later on tonight and stuff against Nikki Bella. But anyway, we get the match with Penta and Rusev. I can honestly say that the match that they had, I mean, it was a pretty decent match. I mean, it's the same old. I mean, because we had these guys fighting about a few weeks ago against each other. I think this is like the fourth, fifth match that they've had between Penta and Rusev in some type of form, whether it was tag team or single. And so now they're fighting to be number one contender as far as the IC title is concerned, around Dom's waist and stuff. So, but anyway, they have the match. You know, um, I mean, the match was okay as far as the match being a match and stuff. And then during the match, the Americanos come out and interfere, cause a disqualification. Then they attack, Rusev and Penta and everything. They kind of, trash them and beat them up and everything. And then, as Americanos are in the ring celebrating, Rusev comes in and he attacks them. And then they leave they go, almost have a standoff, with a Grande Americano on Rusev, and as Rusev is about ready to come in for the attack, a Grande Americano leads with the Americanos and stuff. So that's how that ended up. And then you got LA Knight, backstage, complaining about, him not being, having a title match. I mean, it's the same old thing, you know, with that craziness and stuff like that. And then we have the match with Nikki Bella and Roxanne Perez. Now I give it to you. This match was, it was better than what I expected. It was a pretty good match. Um, it was back and forth. There were some new things that I saw that, both the lady, Nikki Bella and Roxanne Perez, did in the match and stuff. And then, you had sometimes, Raquel Rodriguez, she got up to try to interfere a couple of times, in the match and stuff. And then the match finally ends, with Roxanne Perez doing a pop rocks to Nikki Bella in the corner and stuff, for the win. And then, Raquel comes in there and she attacks, Nikki Bella and stuff. They beat her down. Then Stephanie Valkiar comes in and, to try to even things up. Um, and then you have Raquel and Stephanie, standing, facing off, and then Nikki Bella joins them in the face off. So we'll see where that goes. But I'm thinking that the match is going to be, you know, um, Raquel Rodriguez, and Stephanie Valquez sometime down the road. Okay, and then we got Jimmy and Jay Uso in the back, and I guess Jimmy is upset because Jay, eliminated him from out of the battle royal. Basically, he's saying that he thought that they should have had them, each other in the ring at the end, for the battle royal, to see who was the best and who would win and stuff like that. So I mean, okay, Jimmy's in his feelings and stuff like that. Jay, is going on to wrestle CM Punk, for the championship. So I'm just gonna leave that as it is. Who cares? I mean, it's crazy because they're always backstage. They're always arguing about something, something about if Roman's involved or whoever. But anyway, we get Braun Breaker and LA Knight, another rematch. And I mean, I don't know how many times that we've seen Braun Breaker and LA Knight go against each other. You know, the match. I mean, it was a decent match and everything. Even though we've seen it, a bunch of times, but the match was decent for what it was. You had Bronson Reed, who was going to interfere in the match anyway. You know, and stuff, but didn't have anything to do as far as the ending. Braun Breaker hits LA Knight, with the spear and stuff, and gets the win, the 1, 2, 3 over LA Knight. LA Knight is probably not gonna ever be, a world champion. At this point now, he's just, a high value jobber. That's how I see it. You know, that's how I see it. And then you get the match with JD McDonough and Shamus. Okay. And this match, was only set up because of the fact that, Finn Balor and JD McDonough screwed Sheamus, in the battle royal. So that's why they end up having this match. You know, um, the match went, a little bit back and forth until Finn Balor, interfered. He hit Sheamus, in the back of the head, with the shillelagh. And then JD McDonough hits Sheamus with the Spanish fly for the win. And that match is over. And then we get Adam Pearce, telling Maxine Dupree that, she has another shot with Becky Lynch. And basically, Maxine is telling them that, hey, look, somebody else is deserving and that she is going to probably be gone, I guess, to go out for some training and everything, to get better in the ring. And then when she gets back, she said that, she'll be back fully and ready to beat Becky Lynch and stuff. So can't wait to see that happen. Hopefully, it won't be so far away and we forget about what's going on and stuff. And then now we have the match with Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, against Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa Bliss, which is the main event, you know, um, of the evening. The matches, again, okay. I mean, it was good. There was a lot, going on and stuff, a little bit back and forth and stuff like that. You know, then you get um, both Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss hitting Bayley and Lyra Valkyria with the natural selection. It's a double, natural selection, and they win the match and stuff. And then after the match is over, the Kabuki Warriors come in and they mud walk. They mud walk through Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Bayley. I mean, not Bayley because they didn't really bother Bayley. It was like Lyra Valkyria. They beat them three up, but I didn't see them attacking anything with as far as Bayley. I guess that has to do something when they were all damage control and stuff, but I don't know. But anyway, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss win the match. You know, um, when Bayley came in the ring, then Oscar and Kyrie they left the ring and stuff. Because I guess they didn't want the part of that craze behind Bayley. But anyway, that's how it was. That was the end of the show and stuff. I mean, I guess it is what it is as far as the show is concerned. I don't know. They just got to get better. Raw has to get better. Triple H got to get better with the writing, the creative, and storytelling and stuff like that. If not, we're not going to be seeing WWE on any platform. I'm sure they're losing a lot of money, but I hope they get it together. I really do. But anyway, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Please subscribe. I need subscribers. All right. Thank you for watching. God bless. Deuces. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.